Welcome back to the Harbingers D&D campaign. Woo! We are so excited to be back for you guys, to be back and doing another session. And we are live this time, guys. It's so exciting. Finally. Oh, so we are so happy to be back with you guys, be back with the comments and with all of you amazing supporters to the channel, to the Twitch, to the story, and we are excited to have you guys on the adventure with us. So, without further ado, we are going to head into the recap, which our very own, a drum roll, a fake drum roll, brrr, Merilla is going to be doing it. So we are super excited. And take it away. Oh my goodness. Okay, awesome. Well, without further ado, let's dive right back in. Um, my friend. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So as you guys are coming back together, we ended it where you at that night. You guys were all back at the inn, or Sierra? That's right. Oh yeah, because they were talking in one of the rooms, having a private conversation. Oh, so yes, you guys know where you were the best. Okay, awesome. Notes for the win. Alrighty. So we're gonna pick it up at the tavern. Alrighty. So Dusty and Amaris, you come back to the tavern. Douse, you are also arriving at the tavern. Or are you're already there at the tavern? Yeah, you said you were gonna go back in the morning. So right now the three of you are at the tavern, or the inn, and it's kind of both, but you guys can enter in. You see um oh geez, I can't remember. I think it was Kate was her name. The notes for the win. Did did a certain Nuri write down the innkeeper woman's name? Yeah. What I'm also realizing is as a dungeon master, I need to write down people's names. Okay, I think it was like Kate. If it's not, she now goes by Kate. Ouch. She gave you she gave you breakfast. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wait, her name is Kate. All right. Sorry for all the viewers who remember her name. Yeah. Yeah. Did she write down the name? Okay. Well, you see Kate behind the tavern counter. Oh my gosh. I am so where's the word? The counter. So you see Kate behind the counter. She's handing out drinks to various people. As it is starting to get towards the evening, there are a bit more lively chatter going on, some background music. Um, it's a bit more bustling. So she doesn't actually notice you guys come in. Yes? Oh, yes, of course, Douse. I can get you some boys. How 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 much comfort are you thinking? All right, get you a bit. All right, and she disappears. Oopsies, messing with my notes here. I do have notes, just apparently not notes with names on. Um, so she heads back into the back. Um, and she comes out, and she has a plate with a slice of pie, not too thick, but like a medium-sized slice of pie on it. And it's blueberry pie. And in the other hand, she has the entire rest of the pie with with a little like pie slicer, and she sets both of them down and then grabs a fork like out of her little like apron and sets it there, and she goes, "It's yours." Oh, she slides it back to you. Oh, that's new. Oh, Drov. Yes, he has. He's actually got a room here. This is his last night staying. Of course, yes. Sure, he's out and about. I haven't seen him come back in, but then again, it has been a bustling evening, so he might show up. Uh, Probably will. I mean, he's got one more night left that he paid for. Yes, of course. Okay. Um, you high or low? Okay, you can't seem to find any that are in like a secluded corner that are free. Sitting next to Douse. All right, Amaris, what are you doing? Okay. So you both are you're all three of you guys are just sitting on the counter. Douse is just eating pie. She comes over to Amaris. Kate comes over to you and Dusty, and she says, "Is there anything I can get you all?" I think. Well, yes, yes, we've got some juice. We've got, let me see, we've got some apple juice, we've got some orange juice, we've got elderberry juice, apple juice. All right, hun. Let me go get that for you, sweetie. Sweetie. And she goes away, and after a few moments, she comes back and she hands you a glass of apple juice. She, she kind of looks at this and uh in like amazement as she like slides the gold coin and then puts it in her pocket, and then she pulls out starts pulling silver out of her like lockbox, um and she will give you 9 silver back. Okay, you're welcome. Is there anything you guys wanted to do, or turn it over to Merilla and Nuri? Okay. Okay, so you're looking for Drav. Anything else from anyone? No? You're just chilling, vibing? Okay. Alrighty. All right, we will switch over then to Nuri and Marilla. Ooh, yeah. Remind me again, or I guess remind the viewers once more of what specifically you were looking for. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, I like that. I like that. Okay. Um, so while you're there, roll investigation. Both of you. You can either each roll it individually or one of you can roll it with advantage. Now you're good. Okay. Marilla, you rolled a 22. Dang. Okay, so Marilla got a 22 and Nuri got a 10. Um, yeah, this library has not been able to help her. What is she doing? No, don't feel stupid. Happens to the best of us. So I'm looking at my hamburger dash. They've got hamburgers in them. Hamburgers. Sorry. Um, I know, right? Crazy. Okay, so Nuri, you're looking around. It's always been a bit of a struggle, but you do manage to find this like I wouldn't say it's like a full-fledged book, more like a pamphlet, really. Um, you find like just tucked into like a book about like the ocean. There's just like this pamphlet. Um, and pretty much what it is it's like the four elemental monasteries in this little pamphlet. It goes and it's like short guide to them all. With like a little it's got like a little fish with like cartoony arms and legs just going woo like on the front. Um And basically, but it actually does have some like good bullet points in the pamphlet. So it gives you more on like all of the monasteries. So, hold on, I gotta scroll down to the notes about the monasteries real quick. The lore, the pamphlet. With the little cartoon fish. The lore. Okay, okay. 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 So what it tells you is, first off, it tells you the name of all four monasteries. Okay. So it tells you that the monastery is named Nero. That's the name of it. So that's Nero. Okay. The fire monastery is called Fotia. So Fotia. Fotia. Yes. Then the earth monastery is called G, and that's GI. And then the air monastery is called Eras, which is Aeras. Yes, Aeras. hmm So that's Nero, Fotia, G, and Eras. Um, they are the four elemental monasteries, is what they're called. Um, and they are in the pamphlet it talks about how they are highly in tune with like old like ancient like they've been here for like since before the scattering. These monasteries have been around for a very long time. Like the generations who are like taking care of them like pass on and stuff like that, but the monasteries themselves are ancient, almost relics in and of themselves. They exist in these beautiful environments that could not exist in other ways. Um, and that's why they're predominantly populated by genasi of their respective types. Um, and water in the water, earth in the earth, like yada yada. But to visit one of these monasteries is a great honor because they are beautiful, beautiful places of peace and tranquility. where you can go and you can study deep ancient lore. The lore, the ancient lore. It's, it's the subcategory of lore, the ancient lore. Um, yeah, so pretty much, we have the ancient lore now, is a subcategory. But basically, they have some secrets that are only known by a few of the highest like monks in the monastery. Um, those that are secrets that are kept there. They protect ancient relics. They are also to have known to there and it at least in this like little pamphlet it talks about there are like ancient treasures and relics. Like if we're talking in like this pamphlet, it's just like, yeah, so each of them have ancient lore. Each monastery is way old because it was before the scattering. And yeah, the lore. Yeah, it's like a little pop-up pamphlet where it's like auditory, like the words dance along the page and the little like cartoon fish is just like, and if you look here, it is the over enthusiastic. It is bring the kids along down to the monasteries because they are too old. um, and it says that it talks about how the monasteries each have their own very unique culture that goes along with their environments, along with AKA what? AKA their own bending. AKA their own bending style of magic. They break the rules. Uh, I know. Oh gosh. Yes. Anyways, they each have their own culture and own cultural dishes. Yum yum. And then it goes, if you can find one of the monasteries and they let you in, you'll learn loads of information, one that will help you feel so knowledgeable and happy. So, yay! Thanks for reaching the end of the pamphlet. Bye bye. And then the pamphlet closes itself. No one else can read it again. No, it just closes itself. Yes, it was a magical pamphlet. But that's all you got with the 10. Yeah, it depends on the monastery. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like a magma fire. It's like you haven't been there, Douse, but like yeah, you remember that they live kind of it's not like okay, yeah, it's basically a volcano, yeah. It's basically. Yeah. But yeah, you I mean, actually, yeah. Nah, you'll see what it's like one day if you ever finish your pilgrimage. Oh gosh. Okay. So then Merilla with a 22. Ooh. Um, as you're kind of like exploring, you find, and you're kind of like in the water section. You're like studying. You're looking for stories, and you, sorry, Mm. you see this one little like small little book, almost like a children's book, that you can pull off the shelf, and I love this. Children's books are so for the win. Um, Let me make sure I have this in the name correct real quick. Um, Douse, do you remember the deity that I told you, was it Junipass? Or was it Solaris? Was it Solaris? The Solaris is the god of the temple, yeah, that they're at. No, that's the that's the bad god. The one the one of the dolphin story. That's okay. I c- okay, well, we're just gonna go with Solaris then. We'll say it was Solaris. Or Junipass, yeah. I think it's Junipass because it was of peace and serenity, and that's more monistic. So, okay. Sorry, viewers. We're just like, this is what happens when the DM doesn't review her notes before the session. And she just kind of is like, oh, wait, we're just going to make it up now. No, just kidding. um, okay. So it's a Junipass. Junipass. hmm so on the front of the cover is a beautifully illustrated drawing of a dolphin bursting out of the water. Okay. As you open up this little children's book. And the children's book is titled Call of the Sea. hmm Marilla's like, okay. Um, and I will now tell you the story of the Call of the Sea as you continue to read. And imagine that there are beautiful little like drawings littered throughout this little children's story. Um, but once upon a time, or a time long, long ago, long enough to be remembered, but not remembered well. Nevertheless, long ago, when the people of the sea were trying to go further, to follow the light of Junipass, they tried to cross the oceans. And to do so, Junipass created a bridge for them, a bridge of rainbows. It spanned along the length of the ocean as it's quite the long bridge. The It spanned along the whole length of the ocean. And as the people, the followers of Junipass, traversed on this rainbow bridge. Their feet were bathed in the lights, the multicolored lights of the water and the air that just fell so smoothly on their feet as they crossed this rainbow bridge. Now, these people were happy. They were joyful as they danced and sang, crossing this river, praising Junipas as they went. And the children, oh, the children were so full of faith and light and happiness. And the children played and they danced and they sang and they continued to go along their merry way. But all things don't go according to plan. The children, unfortunately, fell off the rainbow. And as they came hurtling down towards the ocean depth, the parents knelt down and wept and prayed to Junipas and begged and asked for them to spare their children, to save them. And the goddess, O great Junipas, took pity on them. Now see, she loved those children. She loved how they danced and played and had such great faith in her. And so, what she did to rescue and save the children was she transformed them into beautiful dolphins so that they could continue to travel and play among the water for all the rest of their days. And thus concludes the story. Yeah. Yeah, she's the goddess of peace, reason, and serenity. She's also the goddess that is of this library. Hmm. I would like to just do a quick DM insert here. That story was inspired by an old Native American legend. Um, so just so you guys know where I got, it's basically like the same story. It's this old Native American legend, and it is a beautiful story. I highly suggest people go and look it up. Um, Much more eloquently said than how I can say it. And I've also tailored it a bit to this campaign. But just a little DM insert. It's a beautiful story. Yeah. She is a fictional god, guys. Peace, yeah, serenity, and reason. Yeah, come on, Douse. Jeez. You're fine. I just literally remember I was like, I told you this whole story at the beginning, and you were like, "Oh, cool." No, you're good. It um Yeah, you find like um high or low, Nuri? You don't seem to find anything. Ooh, is the audio broken? Let- mm, Can you hear them now?
Hello.
Ba-da-da-da.
Hey,
I'm
yo.
Dusty. Hey, go out and get the pizza. Hey, it's me.
What if Dusty was a pizza man?
All right, sounds like we're good.
Okay,
We're good.
good.
That's funny.
I
Thanks for the heads up.
real Yes, thank you, Scarlet. Scarlet E. That was an oopsie on my part. I looked and it seems that I turned off one of my audio things on accident. So the stuff you could probably hear was them in the headset coming through my mic.
So good.
Okay, there we go. Easy fix.
Nothing too
Okie.
big to learn. We're okay, guys.
Woohoo. Man, we will continue learning. Okay, okay. So you put the books away and what next?
Head to the inn, I guess, unless there's anywhere you want to go, Merilla.
No. She makes sure she has her 2 big things of bread. I'm ready to go.
I eat another fruit tart as we're leaving.
Did you hear that vibration?
No.
Okay. My phone keeps making really loud vibrations and I keep thinking that people are hearing it. Stop vibrating. Okay. All right, so you're heading back to the tavern? Okie dokie. So you guys head back to the tavern, and Dusty, I know you've been keeping an eye out. At this point, it's I'd say about 7 in the evening, 7:20 in the evening. Um, and you have not seen Drob quite yet.
Okay, there's still some time left.
Yeah, there's still some time in the evening.
Douse is sitting there with a knife, deciding how big of a second slice he wants. Just like,
High key debating, and as you're doing that, Nuri and Merilla walk in.
Douse quickly cuts a slice and he puts the thing out of sight, knowing Merilla just walked in.
Wait, what?
Douse just hid the pie.
Oh.
Where are you hiding the pie? Because there's not really a place that you can hide it.
Oh, there isn't.
He
Is there?
puts it in his lap underneath. I mean, I don't know.
Well, he's at the counter. Is there a smaller table area behind the counter, or?
I mean, yeah, so you're at the bar basically, and right behind the bar is a countertop where she's got all of her stuff. Kate's got all of her stuff and everything. So you
Because
might knock a
he,
few things over, but I guess you could put it there. You might not be able to snag it back, but
that's he wasn't planning to eat the whole thing, and he wasn't going to take the whole thing either. He just wanted a few slices,
okay. A
so
few.
he'll put it back. This is
He
a
just
second
pushes it off
slice,
the counter.
like a cat. Just,
Okay, as you do so, as you kind of toss it over, you see that, and you
oh no,
throw it over
he
there.
doesn't actually toss it. He's gonna put it down gingerly, not to ruin it.
Okay, okay. Well, it is a little cluttered, is what I was gonna say. So high or low?
Let's go low.
as you're trying to like put it down, you accidentally hit one of like the tankards that was like tipped over and drying. And it just like gets knocked and like totally clatters to the ground. And Kate just kind of like turns around from talking with a customer and she's like she kind of like raises her
I'm
arm.
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't want her to eat all of your pie.
She just laughs. Douse.
What pie?
Nothing.
She goes, she
Well,
picks
what
up the
kind of
tankard.
pie?
He'll slide his slice over to you.
She looks at it.
Blueberry.
Does Merilla not like blueberries?
Blueberry pie. She still has her bread and she kind of like leans over the side because she's not like sitting next to you. It smells very good, Douse.
It is very good.
And she slides it back to you.
Okay.
No reaction.
I mean, he's not scarfing it. He's just kind of gingerly eating it.
Can I just say my favorite thing is that when Sierra like gets like and like goes down to start writing notes and then Greg literally just like mocks her with lifting and like scribbling on his face.
Wait,
It's
he
not-
does?
It's not mocking. I'm just acting out her action. That's all I'm
Wait,
doing.
what'd you do, Greg?
It's
Last
so
I checked, that is
funny.
mocking.
Last session he did it when you didn't. When you and I were talking as our characters, he like lifted up his thing. He started writing before you did, and I was like, sneaky.
Because I was in the moment, but believe me, it is in the pages.
Yeah.
It is there.
I'm
Douse,
just practicing.
Yes?
at your monastery, do they tell you a story about children turning into dolphins? Fully
Yes, that's-
realizing that out of context, this sounds so weird.
Yes, that is one of our many religious beliefs and stories that we follow. Well, that we believe in. We don't really follow it. We don't toss our children off to rainbows, but we do believe that happened. And yeah, why?
Where were the people coming from, and where were they going to? I've never heard a version that explains that part of the story.
I mean, they were going to a better land, to a holy place, and they were coming from the continent that we're currently standing on.
So we don't know where they were going. So then how do we have the story? Did people turn around on the rainbow and go back?
The goddess revealed it through an oracle.
Oh, hello, delicious people. I did this
Well-
wonderful thing. I saved these children, and I did it by turning them into dolphins.
And there were people who
welcome.
stayed back and never left as well. I mean, there's clearly still people on this continent.
But where were they going? Why did they have to leave? I mean, leaving via a rainbow is kind of a big deal.
I mean, they were following the goddess. They were going to live with her, I presume, as it was a better place. A better place would be next to a god. Why are you asking all these questions all of a sudden?
I'm just curious. I'm a curious old woman. Nuri is a curious elf. I can be a curious old woman.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm happy to talk about her anytime you want. It was
What was the goddess's name again?
Juniper.
Juniper? I thought it was
I was
something
gonna
else.
lean over to
Juniper
like,
Pass,
"Do you
Juniper
mean
Pass."
I was like, what?
That was a mistake on Dane, not Douse.
I was like, Juniper! Oh, that's who Douse worships now.
He's covering up the name. He's keeping secrets.
That's
Nah.
so funny.
Don't blame Douse for Dane's mistakes.
Okay, now you're saying Dane, the coma patient makes mistakes.
Yes.
Wow, Dane.
Yes.
Oh, what a way to twist that. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun.
Oh yeah, yes.
There is no way out of
Junipers.
it.
Amaris is out of there. Amaris is out of there. You're mocking Dane. She's out.
But no, this isn't out loud. This is the DM mocking Dane.
All right, everybody. The entire thing is done. We just mocked everybody, and everybody's offended.
Good job,
Session
guys. You
over.
can end now.
Starting the next session in next week, or the next campaign.
Oh my
Gosh, anyway.
gosh.
Oh yes, that's right, Junipers. I forgot.
I'm
mean,
just
she's-
gonna lean over and go, Douse, have you ever been or ever were or currently are a dolphin?
Straight shoot up.
That is a very weird question. No, I have never been a dolphin, and is this in relation to the story?
Yeah,
I
I've asked everyone else if they're, elves and stuff. I just felt like this is the next natural thing to ask.
Okay. Well, I mean, the story is just are kind of how dolphins came about. We don't believe that people are currently turning into dolphins or vice versa. If that was your question, it's just dolphins we believe to be children, and so we have a very close connection with them.
What you do?
I'm gonna touch your face. Just
Please
like,
don't touch me.
just
I'm gonna
touch
like
your face
lean away.
this.
Like
Nuri,
no,
Nuri,
stop.
space.
Was his face wet? Is he like water?
I myself am not water, but it might be a little damp.
I'm gonna reach over again and just like pat your hair.
Please stop. Please, this is weird. I
said
will
made of
move away
water?
from her. I will move away from Nuri.
I scribble some notes in my book as I follow him, and then like look like
Rilla's
I'm
going to like
studying him
actually like
a
kind of waddle between them a
object.
little bit. Nuri,
Uh,
I know you're curious, but maybe
Yeah.
too curious.
You can never be too curious.
Yes,
This is how
curiosity
knowledge is
killed the
found.
cat. You're too curious.
Actually,
Yeah.
curiosity is not what killed the cat. It's whatever was on the other end that killed the cat. Curiosity itself does not kill things. Scientific fact.
But curiosity brings people into action, which then causes them to die sometimes.
I'm not going to kill you, Nuri, if that's the problem here. But
No.
she does have a
it's
point.
fine.
Life is under no threat.
It is not fine. There is personal space that I would. You are invading my personal space a little bit here.
Oh,
That's what I was trying to say, but in a very complicated way.
sorry. It's just you've turned yourself into a scientific project. I can't
How?
help it. Well, you say you need this water, but after researching into it, you're not a dolphin. Your hair's not made of water. Your face is not made of water. Why do you need this water?
I'm sorry. You researched into why I need water.
Merilla looks up at
Yes.
Nuri like,
I'm like looking in my book and I'm like, it just doesn't make sense, with your autonomy and you're not a
Have-
dolphin. I know you lived under the ocean, but that does not mean you need extra.
Have you ever considered that was a very personal subject?
Yes.
And
I
you
feel that
still
is
did
the
it
answer.
anyways.
No, I read a pamphlet.
I'm lost here. Did you or did you not go to research about what is wrong with me? Or what is going on with me?
There's something wrong with you. Tell me more about this, Douse. What is wrong? Is it
Nothing
a
is
disease?
wrong.
Is it contagious?
I'm going up to my room.
High or low Sierra?
Hi.
Douse is leaving at that.
Wait 1 second before Douse is leaving, because Dusty's thing is happening like right at this moment.
Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious. This high or low is going to determine some very interesting things.
Is
Okay,
this
high or
whose
low,
side? Whose side?
Sierra?
I said low.
This is decide whose side of the spectrum is Douse taking.
No, Dusty is just kind of watching. He's watching this interaction between the two of you very clearly. Like he's got his head towards you guys, just kind of going back and forth.
Do you do anything else, or do you just let him leave?
Yeah, he just lets him go upstairs.
Ink and
He
cargo
watches-
pants.
He
I read a
he, like,
pamphlet. I'm an expert.
he like watches him go up the stairs, and then he just kind of turns back to Nuri.
As he's leaving him, like, scribble some stuff down on my note.
I think we went a little bit too far, Nuri. A little bit too far.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I can tell you're only agreeing with me because you don't want to argue with a cranky old woman.
Oh, I would never do that. That's
You're doing it again.
I just have to know. I can't help it. And
But
he said
it's all
something's
right.
wrong with him. He let that slip, which means this is not a normal thing. I was right. I was right. Oh, I love learning.
You let what slip, Nuri?
He said something's wrong with him.
When?
He said, you're trying to research into what's wrong with me, and then he tried to cover it up. And I was like, well, like, what my deal is and stuff like, but he specifically said, what's wrong with him? Well, with me is what he said, but he specifically said it.
I think he was simply trying to speak from our perspective, but I mean, I'm still technically with you that there is something there, but I think we won't find it out unless we're patient. Space and time, Nuri.
Yes. Yes. Space and time. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
You're just agreeing with me to agree with me again.
Yes, I am. He said something was wrong with him. How can you not just be filled with a desire to know? Oh, I wish I could go to another library.
Dusty just kind of shakes his head and then continues surveying the place around him.
Sarah, can we get a clip after this of Nuri just going, "Oh, I wish I could go to another library."
Yes. Clip it!
Oh my goodness, I literally
High or
love
low,
that.
Greg?
Hi.
Meanwhile, did he like leave his pie on the counter?
I think
It's
so,
on
right?
the other side. Well, yeah, my slice of the pie is there. Yeah, the rest of the pie is on the other side of the counter.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Mo's gonna go over and she's gonna carry her two huge loaves in one arm, and she's gonna take the plate from the counter.
Okay,
And
you
then
do so.
depending on what happens next, she's then gonna act for like the
Okay.
high on lower that Dusty and Nuri were doing.
Well, after scribbling some notes and seeing Merilla leap and then grab the pie, I start to walk towards Dusty as I scribble some notes about her grabbing the pie after she specifically declined free pie. I have to know everything. Okay. I'm gonna go over to Dusty and just sit next to Dusty and be like, so why are we sitting here alone?
Dusty's just kind of like, well, we're waiting. And he does have Amaris next to him, but he's just, well, we're waiting. Well, I'm waiting.
Amaris is just like, hey, I'm still here, and she's got a little sippy cup of apple juice.
I want that in animatics so bad. Sippy cup. Amaris, the edgy teenager, to sippy cup.
Of apple juice specifically.
That makes it 100% better.
So, what are we waiting for?
Well, I'm waiting for Drov Toughammer.
He's here?
Yeah, he has a room here.
Oh. How long have you
Haven't
been
seen him
waiting?
yet. Not too long. 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour.
That's a lot.
Time flies when you're eating pie.
I just don't have a great concept of time. I never really have. Kind of weird.
That so
Because-
fits my headcanon.
Have you eaten today?
Yes.
Are you lying?
Yes.
Because you have to have someone look after you, Dusty. I'm going to pull out one of my last fruit tarts. And I'll place it in front of you. You'll have to eat this at some point. You don't have to eat it now. I know you're a little weird about that, but you have to eat today, okay?
Dusty, looks at the fruit tart, and then he lifts up his head, and he says, "Could we talk actually?"
Mm-hmm. I'm right here.
I mean, in private.
Oh, yeah. I'll go towards our rooms, but as we're going, you will notice that Nuri has an extra just skip in her step. She seems like she is just overfilled with the joy of learning something new.
Nuri,
Awesome.
you are super married.
Yes. But she learned about I'm talking about Douse, guys.
I know. I'm just teasing you.
She is excited about knowledge.
Nuri,
Get your mind out of the gutter.
You know we gotta bring out the super married comment at least once per session.
There's plenty of time for it to come up still.
Come for that power.
Surprisingly involving Dusty quite a few times. It's actually kind of hilarious. It's going to be even more hilarious when we have this conversation. So, Dusty, actually, while you head towards...
Real quick, before that happens, can I, something really quick? Okay, so Merilla, taking the pie from the counter and seeing Nuri go over to you, while you're having your small conversation, Merilla goes up the steps to your guys' room. And she's gonna knock on the door with a pie in her hand. Douse, you left your pie.
You can have it. I'm kind of done for the day.
You hear the tinkle of the silverware against the plate as it's set on the floor in front of the door. Douse, I miss the sea too. And then you hear her footsteps walk away.
You'll probably wait a few minutes, expecting to hear footsteps coming back. But when they don't, he'll go grab the pie.
She goes downstairs after she does that. So I guess we're passing each other on the stairs.
Okay. Alrighty, and as you are passing each other on the stairs, Dusty and Nuri, you head up the stairs. You actually see a little pie plate outside of Douse's door.
He would wait until it's quiet.
Mm-hmm. You guys can head into the other room that you guys have, and then Douse, you do, once it's quiet, grab the pie.
Finish it, and then I just leave it on my desk or on the night table, and I'll take the plate down tomorrow.
Okay. You do so.
So Dusty actually brings the tart with him as he goes upstairs. He holds on to it.
Go into the girls' room because obviously Douse does not want company. Go to the girls' room.
Oh, Merilla sits next to Amaris in the stool that Dusty was in, and she breaks into one of the packages and starts to eat the big loaf of bread. Okay.
I love that.
Don't you want to save that for the road?
Well, you see, that's why I got two. One is for today, and the other one is for tomorrow when we're traveling.
Okay.
Is that a sippy cup?
No?
No, it looks awful lot like one.
It is just one of their defect cups. Are you seriously going to judge a tavern by their cups, Merilla?
Has nothing to do with the tavern, Amaris. What's inside of it?
But
Is it apple juice?
it's mead as she takes another sip.
Oh, I see. Quite the grown-up girl you are.
Of course.
Me, I prefer milk. It's much better for you, especially these old bones. Can't go having osteoporosis or whatever it is.
You know, in response to that, in response to hearing that, because DM loves that, um, Kate comes over and she sets a cup of milk in front of you, Merilla, and she goes, "On the house."
Oh,
And then-
thank you, Kate. You really are a dear. And she like picks it up. She kind of like lifts it, and she takes a little sip. She sets it down. No, Mars.
And you
I
were
don't
getting
really-
on my case about juice. She takes another sip.
Oh, I suppose it's a story for another day. And she takes a piece of her bread and she dunks it in the milk and then she eats it.
Alrighty. While that is going on, Dusty, Nuri,
What you need to talk about, Dusty?
So Dusty kind of walks into the room and he kind of sits down and he gestures for you to sit across from him.
I will, as I look at any shadows in the room. Try and see if there's any.
there's like some shadows in the room, but nothing of what you're looking for.
I'll sit down.
So Dusty says, "You really should be careful with looking into people's lives like that. After all," and he like gestures to himself. He says, "You know that if people knew about me, that things could go really poorly." And he actually takes off the bandages by his mouth and then puts the tart in his mouth and like chews on it and swallows. And he says, "Also, I think you're my aunt." And he takes another bite of the tart.
Why do you say that?
Thea's your sister, isn't she?
Yes. How'd you know that? Did you
He-
meet her?
You see him smile, and he says, "No, I asked Amaris."
Oh. So you
I saw
haven't met
her-
Thea.
"No, and I didn't know you were a Leodon either. You should have told me that."
Oh, well, I go by my married name, that's why.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
Because I am super married, but it's okay.
He takes another bite. It does make a lot of sense, actually. You're a lot like her.
Like who?
Thea.
So you have met Thea.
Yes. She's, well, as close to a mother as I get.
Hold up. Wait.
He takes like the last bite of the fruit tart and then starts like putting his wrappings back up.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. She never mentioned you in any letter.
She probably wouldn't have. I'm kind of a secret, and he kind of like gestures to himself. He's like I said, some secrets are meant to be kept.
Wait. Wait. Oh, okay. Hold up. Okay. So, how much time did you spend with her? With Thea, your mom?
Not very long. I mean, I'm very young, but not very long. Let me think. I only knew her a few weeks in my initial days. She actually brought me from my father to the desert. And I knew her then. In total, probably less than 2 months.
Okay. Sorry. Was she romantically involved at all with your dad?
Uh, I picked up signs.
Okay. I oh my gosh. And you've been in the I'm really starting to tear up right now. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this.
Is everything okay?
It's just
I expected you to be surprised, but
I'm just this just goes against everything I knew about Thea, that's all. I mean, oh boy. Oh, she that makes sense. Okay, well, see, your mother. Wow, so weird.
well, as close to a mother as I got.
Yes.
Me kind of.
Yeah. Well, she has never romantically ever been interested in someone and like specifically avoided it and like would suffocate any feeling she had for someone every time. So I'm just a little shocked. Is all that happened. And she never told, I mean, I can understand why, because we were just communicating through letters at that point. That would have been pretty dangerous, but at the same time, she never told me.
Well, I mean,
You're
it
my
wasn't like
nephew. I have a nephew. Oh my gosh. Literally no one else in my family has ever moved on past being single besides me. Oh my gosh. I have a nephew. Oh, I'm gonna just hug you.
he puts his arms up. He's just like, and he like reciprocates your hug after like a second, and he's like, yeah, I mean, I guess you're my aunt. That's kind of weird. There's a lot of Leodons in our group, surprisingly.
So is your last name supposed to be Leodon?
No,
Or no,
no.
your father's last name.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Miles Morales was his name, wasn't it? Or something like that? Morano Morales. Or is Morano his last one?
Yeah, Morano. Miles Morano.
Miles Morano, there we go.
Not to be confused with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Miles, that's
Different
where
people.
that was coming from. Spider-Man. A little different
It's
legend
okay.
book I read a long
took me a
time
couple
ago.
of times like beating it into myself. I'm like, no.
Miles Morano. So your last
Yeah,
name
but
should have been Dusty Morano. Wow.
yeah,
Wow. How long has
I
it been since you've
was
seen Thea then? It's been a long time.
Yeah, about 2 years.
When was the last time you saw her? Like, do you remember that interaction? Like, what was she doing?
Well, like I mentioned, she was bringing me from my father to the desert, and she was entrusted to protect me and get me there safely. Um, she even gave me some contingency measures for if anything happened to me. Speaking of, I thought I would let you know of them, because if anything does happen to me, I need to be returned to my father. I don't know if I ever told you where he lived. He might not even live there anymore. Thea said that if I ever did get into trouble, that I could contact her and she could get me back to my father. She also mentioned a relic. Well, I guess a relic. It's a place. She said word could get to her from there. It's actually relatively close by. But
Do you know what this was, the relic?
yes. Well, kind of. Here, let me pull it up so I can have the exact words in front of me. That's better.
Can I just say the lore?
So much lore. Oh, I'm gonna have to find
Oh,
that.
the lore.
All the questions. All the questions. Just one like blah, 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 blah.
Lore.
Meanwhile, Marilla's just sipping at her, tankard of milk, and she's like, I really don't think alcohol is for anybody. Certainly not for
Okay.
grown-ups.
Got it. Okay. So, he says, she said, the Ring of Toadstool, and it's next to this, the lake by Steel Glen, which is where we're at. And she explained I would meet a person there and that there was a keyword that I needed to tell him to get to Thea. The code word was sunlight.
All right.
So, again, I can't stress this enough. If anything does happen to me, you can't let anyone see me, even our party members. If I show them who I am, it will be on my own terms. But you can take me, well, whatever's left of me, back to my father. All of this does make a lot of sense, though. You are, out of everyone in the party, the most mother-like to me. Which kind of makes sense. Also, I should probably mention, I don't need to eat. Tart was good, though.
Glad you like the tart. They're my favorite. But Dusty,
Yes.
this might be with all the power I have, I'm not going to let anything happen to you. I know I'm not all powerful yet, but the power I do have, I will do anything to protect you. And I mean that I honestly would have done that even before you told me any of this. Probably because there's a little more reason to why I mother you so much, but I know you're very mature and intelligent, but Dusty, you are just a child. You really are. You still draw pictures, you still play with bugs. No matter what happens, I'm not gonna let anyone take you. And I honestly will lay down my life for you. So don't do anything stupid to get hurt. Because you're so young. You're still playing with bugs. You're just a boy. You're just a little boy. So if you ever need anything, please tell me. I'll do anything for you. I honestly will, Dusty. And even if you don't need to eat, I'll probably still bug you about it a little once in a while, because though you don't need it, it is just good to just taste something good.
Yeah, I mean, beats bugs.
Why did you eat bugs if you didn't need to eat?
Well, I don't eat. Here, I'll just show you. And then he pulls down his wrappings. And then he puts his hand out. And out from his mouth crawls Dusty, his pet scorpion. And it comes out of his mouth. And he like holds it up to you.
You've just been keeping him inside you?
I'm not normal. And then he like pets
So you
Dusty.
need to at least eat for Dusty, though.
Yes, bugs. He eats bugs. Not very frequently, but... And then
I
he like
see.
lets Dusty crawl back into his mouth. And he puts his wrappings back on and like tightens them back up.
I'm probably still going to give you some food once in a while, although I'll try and find bugs for Dusty occasionally.
He would like that.
I'm so glad we're related. I'm going to just give you a big hug again.
He reciprocates the hug. He says, and about everything you said, I feel the same for you. I absolutely would be willing to lay down my life for you. Anyone in the party. You are the closest thing to family I have right now. Perhaps aside from the tough hammers, but I don't get to see them quite as often. I also don't know how long I can stay in the group. I don't want to get famous. I don't want to have my name thrown around. The more people who recognize me, the more dangerous things become. If nothing changes, perhaps after this mission, I'll return to the desert. It's where my father sent me to stay safe. But I truly do appreciate everything you've said to me. Just don't get too attached, I suppose.
Dusty, we're way past that point. I am
Oops.
very much attached. No. No. Okay.
I'll try to be safe. I am mortal, though. I can die.
To avoid getting famous, this is what we can do. We just won't spread our names at all anywhere. It'll only be on the guild side of stuff that we do. No one will have to know. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to leave.
If we can find a way, I don't see why not. I'd be happy to stay, and helping people is a rush. It's good to see people's lives bettered by something I do. I never got to see the other side of my father, the side that received the joy, the happiness. He did his work for a reason, but I didn't get to see much of it. And that's okay. But I see why he did it now. I see why he was the man he was. Kind.
Will you take after him in that aspect? You are very, very kind, Dusty.
Thank you. About as much of my father as I have. At least right now. I do miss him.
Have you not seen him since you left?
No.
Have you corresponded at all?
No. Don't know if I even should.
If he's involved with Thea, probably not.
He like cocks his head.
Did you? Her line of work. She doesn't. No. Just no.
I don't think they knew each other for very long, if that's what you want. Well, I don't actually know, but they seemed close. Maybe they knew each other. What was her line of work?
Have you ever been to one of these relic toadstool things she ever talked to you about? Have you ever been to one?
Nope. I just know of the one.
I'm gonna look around for the shadows growing or anything.
No, not that you can tell.
I'm gonna get a torch out. I'm gonna light it.
Well, you light the torch and it kind of casts darker, deeper shadows in other areas of the rooms. Of the
I
room.
put out the torch.
Yeah, just with like the balance, because like the main area around the torch is like bright, but now you're casting like deeper shadows rather than like the light that's trickling in from. Oh wait, I guess it's evening at this point. Yeah, but it's still like the sun is still like setting, and you guys are facing the side where the sun is setting, so there are still some rays. You probably could light a torch, and it would probably provide a bit more light than.
But would if it makes deeper shadows or more shadows, I put it out immediately. Like no.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Just some areas would have a bit more shadow.
High or low, Greg?
We're gonna go with high.
Okay. I look around again. I'm gonna like scooch over a little bit and like she's kind of like whispering it to you. But you know, for the sake of audiences and Zoom and stuff, I will not be doing that. Well, the toadstools will take you to the Fey realm. Which is
Fae?
where I'm from and Thea's from. We're from the Feywild. But look at the shadows again. The more you know, the more serious things become, and traveling too. Oh boy, ooh, it can get nasty there. But so there's 4 different courts, one for each, season: summer, fall, spring, winter. I look around again.
Seems fine.
Seems fine. I'm so nervous right now. I'm like starting to sweat.
Seems that way. Seems that way.
Oh, I love being a dungeon master.
I'm like literally sweating. I feel like there's lasers on me. Oh boy. Okay. Well, she works for the summer court, and there's a war going on between the summer and winter courts, and I'm sweating right now. Oh man.
Still
Don't worry, I
continues
got
to
the-
seem fine.
I got the adrenaline going through me from everything I've just said to everyone. I'm so happy.
Scarlet in chat says perception roll? Question mark.
Do I
Oh
have
my
to do a
gosh.
perception roll?
Yeah, do perception.
Gosh, no. No.
Yeah. Thank you, Scarlet. That was a great suggestion.
Please be nice to me, die. Oh my gosh.
What'd you roll?
Feet.
An 8?
8 total.
That is an ocho.
Oh my gosh.
There's some dark shadows in here, but from what you see, you don't see anything. So it seems fine.
Oh man. Okay. Oh, I'm so jittery right now. Okay. Well, don't talk about the courts at all to like anyone. Just pretend you don't know.
I'm
At all.
really good at keeping secrets.
The more you travel on this continent, the more they get picky, and it just becomes messy. And oh boy, but she's pretty much a spy for the summer court, helping against the winter court because wars, they hate each other. But look around again. She stays on a very down low, nobody should know who she is kind of thing, and that's why she always stays away from relationships, is because they can be used as a tool against her. So the fact that she even showed some romantic interest in Miles is pretty crazy. But if she's working with him, that's a pretty big deal for the summer court, which means I should not have told you this because you are somehow involved with the summer court. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Dusty, you can't say anything. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm so slow. Oh my gosh. Was Miles a human?
Yes.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Okay. Did he wear any kind of like color schemes?
Kind of like thinks back a little bit.
Did I
I'm
send
not
you
100% sure.
Did I send you the picture of Miles Morano?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, I have a picture of him.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I'll have to send it to you in a bit because I don't know where the file is right now. But
Screen share? Oh, never mind.
yeah, he's got a green. He does have a green shirt. He generally wears more like foresty colors.
Green shirt, mostly foresty.
Okay. Okay, we're okay. If you see anyone like wearing a lot of blue, excluding Douse, don't talk to them. Don't get involved with them. Honestly, like oh boy. Oh man. If you see people like wearing color schemes like how I am, I kind of like flare myself out, and like it's very summery. There's like red, yellow, blue colors. There's literally a blaring sun design on her pants. She's like, we wear the colors of our court. So avoid wintry colored people. Just don't talk to them. Okay? In fact, if you see anyone just like super decked out in, besides me, of course, I'm okay. You know, court kind of designs, just don't talk to them. Like, don't make it obvious. Don't make it weird, but like, don't go out of your way to get to know them or anything or talk to them.
I don't really talk to anybody, so I'm
Okay.
kind of works out.
Oh boy. Yes. So I messed up big time, and I'm really sorry. It's probably super interesting to you. I know it is to me, but at the same time, it just put you in way more danger, and I feel really bad.
No, that's totally fine. It's important for me to know. If she's involved in this group, you mentioned that perhaps the person you saw and I saw were different, at least partially. Or at least in one place she was acting differently than in another. I don't know her all that well. Like I said, I had only interacted with her less than 2 months tops. But I don't know. She seems to be a friend with me.
Oh, she would never
seen,
hurt you.
but
I don't think so. But
no, and I don't feel that either. If she wanted to do something to me, she had plenty of opportunity from my father's house to the desert.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have left me there safely if she wanted me for some reason. Well, and then he kind of like raises his hand for more obvious reasons. But she had her chance if she wanted to take me. So I do trust her.
She's awesome. She is a good fighter. Oh boy, that is true. I don't want you to be scared of her. I mean other people from the courts. They are, yeah. She's fine. She's great. Like, what I mean of not wanting to contact your father is if she was first got into contact with him through the courts or something, that just means he's a very high target, probably somewhere. And reaching out to him if people knowing about you is a bad thing, which now I'm starting to kind of feel like it's probably a bad thing, would definitely put a blaring red side on you, being like, I am here and I know these two people, which would not be good. Was all.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go drink some alcohol now.
Roll a perception check for me.
I don't want to. 23.
23? Okay. The candles that are lit flicker a bit. So the shadows kind of shift. But it all seems fine. You feel okay.
Seems
At the
fine.
shifting of the shadows, I visibly pale. And I'm gonna just grab Dusty. Be like, let's go get a drink. I'll drink. You can make sure I don't say anything as I drag him out of the room.
He's like got one arm. He's one arm taken. He's getting dragged. He's like, all right, good talking to you.
As you do so, I will answer a question that was thrown into the chat real quick. Let me see. Who was it? It was Scarlet E. She asked, "Are there also Seelie and Unseelie?" And I'm only going to say this because technically Amaris and Nuri would know this. So you guys would know that anciently, kind of like before the scattering kind of a thing, the Seelie and the Unseelie were the two main factions among the Fae, basically. And there was a lot of contention between them, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of dubiousness. And when the whole scattering thing happened in this world, um, the Fey realm kind of suffered from it as well, and the Fey split into 4 factions. And which the Seelie became the spring and the summer courts, and the Unseelie became the fall and winter courts.
So technically, yes, but they're not referred to as that anymore?
Not anymore. Nuri, you, Amaris and
more.
Nuri, how much are you guys still following the Fey realm politics? Like recent? Actually, Amaris, you probably would know this. Because Nuri, you've been isolated from it for a bit. Yeah. Amaris, you would have heard rumors that the Seelie and Unseelie are beginning to form again. But they're rumors.
The lore! The lore!
We've gotten quite a bit of lore here.
And it is not good.
This has
Yeah, I
been a
know.
huge, 20 minutes of just pure lore dumping.
Lore! Lore! Thank you, thank you, Greg, for that beautiful recreation of lore dumping.
I've been talking and didn't notice I was muted.
Hmm. Come on, Dave.
I'm sorry.
So
No, it was bad.
We want to hear you.
Everybody needs their limelight. It just
Okay.
wasn't mine at that time.
Dang,
That's
I'm so
okay.
happy I got to reveal all that. That was so cool. I'm so happy that was happening.
So
so
what
naturally.
exactly did you reveal? That's the question.
No, just a couple things. Not very much, actually, in the grand scheme of things.
But you made the DM reveal a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, some things we kind of knew. Like, we knew about the scattering. We did not know about the war between the Summer Kingdom and the Winter Kingdom, which could technically be considered as a war between the Seelie and Unseelie courts, if you think about it. Which is a huge deal. Which means potentially ancient things from before are starting to unscatter. Let's go over what the scattering is again exactly.
Yes. So, for those of you who may not have heard it the first time, or if I may not have even explained it because I explained it to the players.
I have it in player notes.
Yeah. So
Something like that.
2000 springs ago was the scattering. Now, the scattering, I need to sit up a little bit. The scattering of trying to remember what I wrote in the player thing. Okay. So pretty much this is where the scattering is an ancient event 2000 springs ago where there used to be tons of high-level monsters, dragons, many great and terrible beasts that traverse the world. Kept a lot of the known races at the time in servitude and or just like slaves, prisoners, horrible stuff. They were just like, all these great monsters, abelisks, dragons, Tarasques, all this stuff. But what happened was during the scattering 2000 springs ago was when the gods came down basically and they forced these beings of great power, these monsters, and forced them into other planes of existence. To various ones, not all into one. They scattered them. Okay. Um, so at least that's how the legend goes, is that the gods themselves came and scattered all of these great beings into various planes of existence. So yeah, that's the scattering. It's a big historical event. Yeah.
And we had a huge monster that we fought come back, and we know that resources are becoming scarce, especially diamonds and iron. And only Amaris knows that something is playing with the underworld.
The lore.
I thought she told us that. Maybe not.
No, Amaris hasn't said anything about what happened when she was with Dane. Nuri has been patiently waiting. Actually waiting. Come on, guys. Can we appreciate that second?
It's really
That Nuri is
I know.
waiting. She's been obviously using her time in other ways, trying to busy herself, but she's been waiting.
So much lore.
I'm actually really proud of you for picking up why she's digging so much into Douse.
I just got that just now.
I didn't even realize.
Totally makes sense. So much lore. So much lore. Ooh.
Okay.
My mind is blown. I'm like, whew, I'm starting to calm down a bit. I was sweating. I literally felt like there was lasers on me. I felt like Tom Holland when he like spills something about Marvel. Oh boy. That was scary.
I was shaking. I had the adrenaline going. I was fight or flighting.
Well, what's funny is a dungeon master, if we're pausing the game here for a moment.
We're breathing. Let us breathe.
Breathe. Let it sink in.
Calm down.
What's funny as the dungeon master here is that like each of you have like different like knowledge things about certain big things, so when they get combined, but you don't know, you guys I feel like you guys don't know how big of like a thing some of the things are, but then when you like share them with each other, you're like, wait. You're like, hold up a second, this is not good.
I
And
think
it's really
that's how
interesting.
beautiful your storytelling is, because our characters are not supposed to know, like we ourselves are not supposed to know that, because when we intertwine, it gives us that genuine reaction.
Let's not know that we know.
You know?
Yes.
Well, thank you.
No one knows about Dusty's secrets, and no one knows about the summer courts.
And
There
nobody
is no
knows
summer
to
courts in the Harbingers campaign. There are no summer courts in the Harbingers campaign.
There is
All
no
is
fight
fine,
club.
boxing say.
All
There's
is
no
fine
lore
in the
in-
Harbingers campaign.
There
is no lore in the Harbingers campaign.
There is no lore. What is lore?
What is
What is
that?
lore?
Oh my gosh.
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Which is even better because it's going to sting people. Anyway, so what's happening now? They're going down the stairs. So as you're going down the stairs, if I might be able to just insert this in, you hear the end of Merilla telling Amaris the story that she did not ask for at all. About a time when she went to a tavern and she met a cleric. And so, Amaris, that's why I've never even drunk one sip. I've kept my milk.
Interesting.
Isn't it? He was so considerate of those around him, so I thought, oh, never thought of it that way. Perhaps I'll do the same, and so I have.
So do we come down with like Nuri just like tightly like grabbing Dusty's arm?
Her face
And
is
he's
a little
just, like,
pale.
a little bit behind him. last thing you guys saw, hey, can I talk to you in private for a minute? She comes back down.
I go
Nuri,
straight to the
again.
bar and get a big thing of alcohol.
Kate
Nuri,
fills
again,
it up.
I thought you were married.
He's my
Poor Mary.
Did she actually say that?
No. No. She makes no comment. She's just going straight for alcohol.
Kate
Not
fills
instead,
up
just go for the
a
strong
giant.
stuff.
Oh, you said the strongest stuff? Okay, she pulls out like this big rectangular glass pitcher that's got like a cork stop in the top, and she uncorks that and pours it, and she go into a large tankard, and she says, 2 gold.
I'll give her the 2 gold.
Okay, she plops down this extremely large tankard in front of you with some of the hardest liquor she's got.
I think
Start
Amaris, this
chugging it.
might prove to be a case in my point.
I'll just be
Nuri,
drinking.
what did you do?
Oh, you're drinking.
Can you roll me a constitution check at disadvantage?
I'm gonna roll my real dice, see
No.
if they're nicer to me. I gotta get my player ones. I can't use my DM ones.
This
'cause they'll hate
stuff-
me.
This stuff
Here,
just
he's
burns
mine.
down your throat.
Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Constitution. 12.
12? Okay. You're
At
feeling a
disadvantage.
little.
Oh, sorry.
That was
Oh, yeah.
disadvantage. The other
Oh,
one
that was. Oh, yeah.
a 21.
Dang. Okay,
Oh.
okay, jeez. You're handling pretty fine. Your cheeks are really rosy, really pink now. You feel a little like you feel pleasant, a little more calm. Um, a little looser tongued, but not terribly so.
Nuri, I
Can-
thought you didn't like the hard stuff. Wine is considered soft stuff, right?
I'm just gonna take another big swig. No
This has been a
response.
traumatic day for the entire company.
Are you gonna finish it off?
Yep.
Roll
Like just
another.
throughout the rest of the night, I'm gonna just be drinking that.
Okay, roll me another Constitution check at disadvantage.
She's not going to give an answer. She sips more of her milk.
14.
Okay, you remain
Wait,
in
no.
that
13.
Okay, you remain in that state after downing the rest of the alcohol.
Okay.
Nuri,
Hmm?
what the heck?
I'm with Morris.
Dusty's just kind of sat down next to Nuri. If he's gonna save his action, anytime she says anything stupid, he's gonna not stupid, but like if she accidentally reveals anything about their conversation, he's just gonna jab her in the side. Just saving his action for that. I thought I'd make that.
Yes,
Not
yes,
even in
Nuri.
comment.
Amaris was talking to you. She takes another chunk of her bread.
If this whole time you have been claiming that you are married, which I know you are because I have been to that wedding, what did you do with Dusty?
That she actually stands up at that. It's kind of wobbly. And she's like, I'm extremely faithful to Esmond. Extremely faithful.
She looks
And
at the
what
stars
happened
and she...
upstairs?
We talked. And then he
And-
like turns to Amaris and he says, a pretty similar conversation to the one we had, actually.
And you are for certain it was just talking.
Yep.
There may have been some hugs, but they were out
Yes.
of me feeling like he was my son. Because he eats bugs. He's just a little boy.
He punches you in the side.
I'm not even going to
boy.
question this anymore, and she heads upstairs.
I'm like holding my side. And I'm like, I want Esmond. I was like, I just fall on the table.
I'm sure the stars outside are really pretty tonight, Nuri.
What's the point? He probably doesn't even see them.
Why would he not see them, Nuri?
Because he's in the shadows.
Do it.
He doesn't care.
How
Can
could
I
he
have
not
another
care?
pint, please?
When you mentioned the shadows,
Two more
Dusty
gold.
he recoiled his fist, but then he stopped and he's like, "Yeah, that's fine."
He keeps running butter.
2 gold. She refills it.
So, hold up, Nuri.
I give her 1 gold and a silver, and I push her a fruit tart.
She kind of quirks her one eye at you and then kind of looks around at either side, nods and slowly takes the fruit.
Yes.
The famous tart.
Nuri, aren't you afraid of shadows? Or perhaps
cautious.
very cautious. Always looking at them. And slapping the dirt, if you remember, in Dragondale.
Which maybe I just actually tripped over Dane. And that was her, but we couldn't remember.
Merilla's not laughing at that. You know, I still haven't remembered anything about Dane.
I am your good friend. How dare you forget me?
Merilla, at this point,
Wrong Dane.
you know,
Merilla
He's
knows
confused.
nothing about you, which is
you
really
keep
weird to think
mentioning
about.
that, and I keep forgetting to literally tell you guys that memories are returning.
Okay, I don't mind if Merilla doesn't remember anything about Dane, but I think it's funny if Merilla doesn't. But if you
Yeah,
want her to,
technically, the way the False Hydra was written for this one. Actually, you know what? High or
The
low. It might
lore.
not work on everyone. High or low.
hi.
I'm gonna go low.
Okay. You don't remember anything, Merilla.
Yes.
Douse, you are starting to remember Dane. You remember her, like, just imagine different little interactions that you would have had with her based on, the stuff. Sierra.
It's my headcanon that Douse had some kind of romantic thing going with Dane.
And that's why he got the ring.
That's my headcanon.
Oh!
Oh!
Pull a rings of power in there.
Douse,
I'm actually low-key now obsessed with this.
Douse, whatever you remember, it's starting to come back. Whatever you choose.
High or low, Dusty?
Make it canon, please.
Let's go with the high. Let's go with the high.
That is a 12.
What?
That's a high.
Douse, you remember.
The lore.
You remember moments with Dane. This is so funny because your name is Dane.
This is why
Dude,
it's
this
my
is the whole reason he was
Dane.
actually sticking with the group was for
That's
her. It
why.
makes sense.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
why.
yes!
The lore.
That's the whole reason.
Talk
Okay,
about
but like
self-love
outside
right
of the
here.
story, yeah, self-love, Dane. Self-love.
I love myself. Dane loves Dane.
So you start remembering little moments that you would share away from the campfire. You remember the softness of her hands. You remember, um, you were definitely at hand-holding stage with each other. You
Maybe
she a
not full on
remember,
baker?
relationship yet, but it's going that way.
yeah, yeah,
Was she
yeah.
a baker by chance?
Oh
I'm just
yeah,
curious. Asking for
she loved to cook. Yeah,
that makes
she
sense.
she shared
Asking
with
for
you
a
some
friend.
Is a match made
recipes
in
that
heaven,
now
guys?
she shared with you some recipes that now you remember
Oh my
her sharing
gosh.
with you. Um,
Yes.
One is for Elven lembas bread. Um,
Nuri.
and for apple turnovers. Also, Douse, high or low?
Let's go low because Dusty was doing high earlier.
Okay. Hey. So, right before you guys, the night before you entered into Dragondale, you remember having a conversation with her, holding her hand under the moonlight. Um,
Sorry, looking at
and
Greg.
Greg's like, oh,
The
um,
super wink.
and you super wing.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and you remember that as you guys were talking and you were holding hands and romantic tension was high, she kissed you on the cheek. Yeah. Yeah, she totally kissed you on the cheek. And you can decide if you went in for a kiss after that or if you just left it at that. That's your decision.
I'd say that would have been close to his first kiss, so he would be very unsure what to do in response to that. Probably did not go in for a second.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
he was very much. He might have actually turned pink for once instead of blue.
Aw,
Hey.
Pink boy.
would
No.
have hated.
He would have turned purple.
Oh, purple. You went purple.
That's
I like
right,
that.
art theory.
Purple boy.
Huzzah, Megan.
So
Color
the
theory.
memories, as you are laying in bed tonight, the memories return. So in the morning, you will remember Dane. Um,
That is so sad, though, if you think about that.
It's
He's
actually
like
really sad.
up in his room, feeling all sad and upset because of what Nuri's been doing. He's having this crazy bracelet, and then suddenly all these memories of this person he was falling for come flooding back, and he knows she's in a coma.
She's gone.
guys, Douse needs some help. He needs a therapist.
The character development. No!
Really, this is perfect because he was wondering why the heck am I with all these people? Whoa, he has to
He's
figure out a
been-
day with Amaris to get
I've
back Dane.
Been with Dane.
That
You
was
know-
the whole reason he stayed with us, the crazy people.
I was just earlier today talking to Emily, being like, I need to get a permanent reason that Douse sticks with these people because right now he's only there for money to make a few quick bucks before
whole
he
reason-
continues with his pilgrimage.
Wow.
And here it is.
It all
There's your
comes
reason.
We're back together. We're all back.
We're
We're connected. Dusty's not leaving. Douse isn't gone. Merilla's excited. The only one we're worried about now is Amaris. Someone grab her.
Also,
Well, not really.
all
Like
of
she
my
has to figure out a
characters-
way to like. I feel like her and Nuri are together, and like, what the
It's
heck is
true.
with these comed people? And then especially the experience that Amaris had, where like Dane's in the Underdarks at the Death's Hill, like eyes went black and all that stuff that we still don't know about his characters. Anyway,
What were you saying, Dane?
We're linking together.
I was going to say, unrelated to this campaign, but Sarah can attest to this. All of my D&D characters have started out single, and I've gotten them engaged or married.
this is
And this is-
100% true. At this point, it's like what 5?
Yeah, because
Impressive.
there's Malark, there's Tabs. No, it's 4. It's 4. because there's Malark, Tabs, Alver, and now Douse.
Now he's
Impressive.
kind of maybe possibly will have a girlfriend.
Well,
she
now
wakes up.
now it's
The
Sleeping
lore?
Beauty.
I was about to say that. Yep.
You
Yes.
should have kissed her, dude.
Jeez,
I didn't
come on.
know.
We gotta go back.
He didn't remember until now, though, so it's okay. We're going back, right?
We're headed
So
back. We're headed back.
Yes.
So
That's
long.
what-
Okay, actually, so here's something that I've been wondering. Technical question. So
Yes.
Dane's body, so she was mauled by the false Hydra, right?
Yes.
So when they did the resurrection spell with the diamond and whatnot, is her body also restored?
Yes.
Right, completely. Okay, so she's physically fine. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
triple
physically
check.
she's 100% fine. She's just in a coma. Yeah.
The amount of lore that just dropped in the past like 40 minutes.
This is gonna
So
be another
good.
lore dump session. They're entertaining.
They are.
Oh yeah,
Um,
don't get me wrong.
Nuri, please roll another disadvantage con check for me.
And Marilla's just asking. He's in the shadows?
7.
Yeah, you are drunk.
Shadows.
But Nuri, and we kind of already went over this. Aren't you afraid of the shadows?
No. I'm not very shadows. That's silly.
But you're always looking at them. The eyes darting them back and forth.
Me?
Yes. Yes.
No. You're lame.
No.
Take another drink. I'm gonna look at some shadows and be like, looking right at him. Nothing wrong.
Actually, you're in the bustling, like, kind of tavern bit, so the shadows are moving quite frequently.
I'm just like cross-eyed, looking at them like, they're not going anywhere. Shadows. I take another swig.
Okay, one more. Also, Greg, I love, like, the little, like, things you do on your camera on mute. You're just like,
It's pretty great.
oh,
5.
you're wasted. You are so far drunk.
I'm just like swaying in place. My eyes are crossed, kind of giggling hiccups once in a while, and kind of like just mumbling a little tune to myself about a boat going down a river.
Marilla's going to rip off a somewhat generous piece of her, big round loaf that she's been working on. She's going to hand it over to you, Nuri.
Takes me a while to actually take it. I'm like trying, but it keeps moving. I'll take it.
Like takes your hand and she like guides it to the bread.
Whoa.
Yes, it's for eating.
Just stop my eyes.
Yes, to balance out all the alcohol in your stomach. Yes.
You have to pay attention to her. She's just there drunken, swaying, cross-eyed, her words are just slurred and she cannot make sense of anything at this point. It is just very messily trying to eat the bread, missing her mouth half the time.
Marilla's gonna like glance over meaningfully at Dusty. Must have had an awful conversation. I don't need to know what it was. But poor Nuri. This is why I drink milk. She takes another sip.
Okay.
Right. Dusty
yeah, go.
is gonna cast Good Berry, which is gonna give him enough berries to sustain someone for like 10 days worth of nutrients, and he's just kind of gonna hand it to Nuri. He's gonna like put his hands out and like tilt his head a little bit, and he says, "Eat." There's a lot of berries in his hands, and they're all moving. It's hard to keep track of them all. There's at least 37.
Now they're flying everywhere. I just kind of go like this, and then like kind of launch it like I'm a T-Rex. I'm just like, and then I'm laughing, and then I'm like falling off my chair.
The sun. Oh gosh, Nuri, you really should sit somewhere else.
Maybe we should take her to a room.
Yes, I think that's the best solution. And she kind of like gathers her bread, finishes her milk.
I'm gonna pause you guys right there, real quick. As Amaris, I'm just gonna say a couple notes real quick, and then something happens. So Amaris, when you go to bed tonight and when you wake up in the morning, you're going to remember seeing like Douse and Dane in a couple of the she's your sister. You know. You know? Um,
She's at the window watching as they're coming back from the date type status.
yeah. And plus it's also she gets the rank of close sister status, which means you go home after the date and you literally tell them every single detail down to like the brushing of hair away and and then he looked at me like this and then describe the look. Oh, you know?
Oh, she would find out how awkward he is.
Yeah. So in the morning, Amaris, you're gonna wake up with those memories. And then Merilla,
That's just gonna cause a whole nother mess of problems.
yeah. And so I'm gonna make a roll for Dusty and Nuri. I need to get highs and lows from you to see if you remember Dane.
So we're all going to bed right now? Is that
No, something's happening. I'm just saying these notes real quick.
Okay.
Hi. Cause
Hi.
I'm high like a kite. I'm just kidding.
And Dusty?
That's you're mixing substances. Drunk
Let's do
is the
low.
opposite.
She went for the high, so I'm going for the low.
Just funny because like none of us have
Okay.
experience with this. We're just like, what the heck? Anyway, sorry.
Okay. Alrighty. Nuri, you remember Dane. Dusty, you do not remember Dane.
What more do I remember about Dane?
You were cousin category, so you definitely you knew, but you probably didn't get as many details as Amaris did.
So I knew she was in to Douse, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they shared rooms though, so the late night chat might have gotten there.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's true. Oh
Might have
man,
been
I
how
wish
I
Marilla could have
overheard it.
remembered. Yeah. You overheard it. So
little.
you know, like you can choose which bits and pieces you know. I will leave that up to your liberty.
Okay.
From overnight to late night girl talk. With the 4 beds all together.
Fabulous.
And then what also happens is as you are talking about getting Nuri to bed, but also Nuri, those memories won't return until the morning. You hear the door open to the tavern or the inn, the combination of the two. And you see this very tall, half orc kind of come stumbling in. He's holding down a straw hat. He's kind of wearing poorer clothing, but they're all sweat stained. He's got an axe at his hip. He kind of grabs actually from a pocket on like his shirt. You see him pull out this very carefully folded like tan like cloth, basically, and you see him unfold it and kind of like wipe, like dab up the beads of sweat on his brow, and then he carefully folds it back and puts it back in his pocket. Um, as he kind of like comes up, you see that he seems very weary. Um, as he heads up to the bar and doesn't even like see you guys. He just heads up and he just says, "Hey, oh, one water, please." And she comes over. She hands a glass of water to him. Dusty, you do recognize him as Drav.
Let's go.
This
So-
passed out elf on the floor.
Dusty's, when he sees Drav walk in, he's gonna be like, "Oh, that's him. Could you take her up by yourself? I mean, she can walk. You just might need to guide her a little bit."
And she like very slowly puts her bread up on the counter. I can try. Nuri, slap, slap, slap. I'm gonna need you to help me. I'm kind of small and old, alright? Stand up. She kind of like tries to pull her up.
Kind of like pretty much all my weight's on you. As I'm like,
Alright, and we like head up the stairs.
Thankfully, she's an elf, so she's not as heavy as you
yeah,
would have
she's pretty
think,
light.
but still heavy for an old woman.
As soon as like she has Nuri like sat on her bed, Marilla's gonna down the stairs and get her bread, and then just go back up the stairs normally.
Okay, so now Nuri, Merilla, and Amaris are all in the room.
I think
Okay,
it's just
It's-
Dusty.
Yep,
Dusty's
just
down
Dusty
there.
and what's his face?
Douse is brooding in his bed.
he's brooding.
Reasonably so.
Okay,
So Drav comes up and he asks for a glass of water.
Mhm.
And then Dusty's actually going to cast Goodberry again. Because not only do they provide sustenance as far as food goes, but hydration. So he's going to cast Goodberry a second time. And he's going to like go to where Drav is and like set them down next to his water mug. And then he's gonna say, there, for you.
you see Drov kind of like, he looks at the berries a little confused and then looks up at you and then like starts to go looking down back at the berries and then he like flicks his gaze. Oh my gosh, I literally like almost lost my headset. Flicks his gaze back at you and he goes, "Rusty, oh my goodness." And he just wraps you in a big bear hug. He like kind of stands up and
Dusty's gonna try and sneak his gold into his bag during this hug.
roll sleight of hand.
All right, hold up.
Dramatic reunion. I'm putting money in his pocket.
It was 7. He like reaches back and he's like, "Yeah, it's good to see you, Drav." And he like reaches and tries to get it without him seeing.
And Drov kind of like lowers his hand and like stops yours and then like feels the pouch of money and he's like, "Doste, what are you doing?" And he like,
Oh, sorry, I just had collected some money that I thought might be able to help you and the family.
That's all nuts. It's mighty fine of you, but we're working hard. I just hope that. Wait. And then he's like, "You're here. Where have you seen Tax? Do you know if she was found?"
Yes, she's safe.
You could assure me of that.
Yes, I embraced her myself.
His hands were on his shoulders, on your shoulders, and he lets go and He leans heavily on the counter, one hand up on his face, and my my little girl. I need to get home.
They say hi, by the way.
You see this big smile, just holes on his face. His thick tusks are just protruding, as they form this big grin. And he claps his free hand on your shoulder, and he goes, kind of taps your shoulder a couple times, and he goes, "Son, you did good."
Of course. Now take this money. And he he pushes it into him.
Kind of like grabs hold of the bag, and he goes, "This is yours, Doste."
He kind of sighs. He's just like, that's why I tried to sneak it into your bag. I really don't need it. I honestly just he's like really trying here to give it back to him.
He laughs softly, chuckles a bit. Fine, fine. If you are really giving it up, I'll take it.
Dusty
Thank
nods.
you. He puts it in his pouch. Um, says, "Can I buy you a drink?"
No, that's all right. I've had my fair share today.
That's all right. How have you been, my boy?
Good. I've been around. I've gone a little further than the desert. I suppose I've gone into the forest before. You know that. But came here. Actually, I've met a couple new people, some friends of mine.
Good.
I'm sure you'll hear about them when you get home.
So, you you were the ones that went and rescued her? Oh, my dear girl.
Yeah, it was a team effort.
He he's not he's not crying, but you can tell that he's very emotional. You know, not his hand kind of goes to a fist, as he just kind of puts it up in front of his face a little bit. And then claps you on the shoulder. Thank you, Dusty.
Of course. We're actually headed back that way towards the desert. We have another mission a little past, to do with the Jackalwares. I'm gonna see if I can do my best to keep them from coming to your town. It suffered enough.
That's good. It's good you'll be able to reunite with and see them again. Oh, I long to see them again. I'm heading back there in the morning.
We could go together.
He gives you a toothy grin, his big tusks sticking out. Oi, that sounds great. I would love to travel with you, son.
Wonderful. Settled then. And he just
How
kind of goes silent a little bit.
says so? Tell me your tale. What's been going on with you?
Well, looking for magic. Found some friends. Like I mentioned before. Found out a little bit about my family. I haven't told you much about them, but it's a bit personal.
Yes.
We helped out the town as best we could. I guess I'm part of a guild now, so that's something. And he like flicks his head a little bit. He's like, you might want to keep that to yourself. Don't go spreading word around about that. I don't
Don't
want to be a
worry.
town hero.
I won't say a word.
Thank you.
He
Okay.
nods. And he will just continue to ask questions about like what was going on in the town, and like pretty much just like trying to catch up with you throughout the rest of the night. Um,
Dusty saves some of the harsher details, but he
Mhm.
does explain what happened, what was going on in the town, and is relatively open with them. As open as he usually is.
okay. Alrighty. Okay, perfect. And so you continue talking well into the evening, until ultimately you bid each other good night to see each other in the morning. Go to rest up for the next day. Yes, Merilla.
So when Merilla gets back up to the top, and she she fetched her bread, is Nuri awake?
Nope. She is crashed and passed out.
Is Amaris also asleep? Or at least obviously not attentive, intent on being asleep.
She's asleep.
The Merilla is going to carefully place her. Actually, she's going to roll up in her blanket burrito, and she's going to set the bread kind of beside her on top. Because it can't really fit inside her backpack. Anyway. And she's going to go to sleep.
Okay. Alrighty. I love that. And Dusty, do you go to sleep or you return to your room?
He'll return to his room and see if Douse is up.
Dane, you're muted.
He was going to stay awake for you just a little bit, but with you staying and chatting, he had fallen asleep by that point.
Okay. Then Dusty will get ready for bed. Sleep!
Okay. Alrighty. And with that, you guys all go to sleep. And wake up in the morning with memory. Dusty,
And a
you're
hangover.
and a hangover. Nuri, your head is pounding incredibly, horribly so. You feel very sluggish, and just very dead inside. And also
Play some
Dusty.
Evanescence in the background. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And Dusty, you will be awake when Douse awakens. So I don't know if you want to do anything about that, Douse.
He's gonna have like a single tear when he wakes up. Realize Dusty's awake, and so he's gonna kind of like brush it aside, and then start pulling out the stuff from his magic bag as he's planning to go trade that off to get his decanter of water. But after all that, you'll just be Dusty.
Yeah.
About the monastery and everything. I apologize for my brazenness. And then he's just gonna grab his stuff and kind of walk out.
Dusty kind of like he watches Douse stand up and start walking out, and he says, "I'm sorry for Nuri's abrasiveness," and kind of chuckles to himself.
Thanks. He just walks on out.
Guys, that's genuine change. Character arc.
All it took was a woman. That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
I feel like that's how it typically goes.
It wasn't so much the woman, it was so much now that Nuri has been pestering Douse about himself, he's realized how bad it might have been for when he was with Dusty previously. And so he's like, I definitely overstepped my bounds there. So I'm understanding now. He's feeling a little bit of remorse.
Development. Let's go. Dusty's kind of going to go down as well, and he's going to wait for the party. He'll let them all know about Gerard when they get downstairs.
Oh, I would return my plate, by the way,
Okay.
from the
yes.
pie.
You would return it, and Kate would take it.
There's a little bit of there's some money for the pie, and then a little bit of extra as a tip. Just like, thank you, I really needed it.
She pushes it back. She pushes
You
all
know,
the money back.
It is only fair that I pay for my
Douse. Douse.
Yes.
You are a dear friend of mine. Very dear. And a good member of this establishment. And I do not let my fine members pay.
Thank you. It means a lot to me. I don't agree with your. This is a business. I feel like I should pay, but this time I will take it.
Thank you. And yes, it is a business, but I have more than enough business every night to help pay for this.
It did get pretty loud last night.
It was pretty rowdy.
All right, well, let's get some of those biscuits and gravy.
Of
Need the
course.
energy for a long day.
Yes, let me get that prepared for you. And she goes ahead and starts preparing them. And now we're gonna switch past that. We're gonna switch back to the girls.
How is Nuri? Is she like making noises?
She like kind of rolls a bit in her bed. Her eyes are like half squinted. Just enough you see her like write some notes in her book. Close it. Kind of like wave her hand and her pen just disappears. And she just like goes back down.
Marilla's gonna glance at Amaris. With whatever Amaris is doing.
Is not in her bed.
Perfect. So Merilla is going to kind of roll out of her blanket burrito, and she's going to go over to Nuri's book, and she's going to try to peek it open.
You have no problem doing so. I'm out of it.
Okay. So I won't have you roll for stealth then.
Stealth, even though she's out of it?
No, I said I won't have you roll for stealth.
Oh, okay. Not bad. My bad. Okay.
No, you're good.
She's going to she's not gonna move it, but she's going to open up, lift the cover, and flip the pages to the back to see what the last thing you wrote was.
All right. The most recent thing written is Douse and Dane liked each other and have held hands. Dane kissed Douse on the cheek night before entering Bad Town. That was the very last thing written. And you will realize in your mind, she must have just written that.
Ew. I wonder what kind of person this Dane was. And since she has it open, she's going to slip the page to the side, like a couple. Like 3 or
Couple?
something.
3?
Now she's just gonna read a random note of what's there.
Douse said he had an appointment to help the town. And I got the party to agree to sell magic quiver. Would you like another note? You want something interesting, or do you want me to just like
I guess she'll read like the next thing like right underneath that. I like to think that she's like reading upside down because she didn't like shift it or anything. That's funny.
Dragondale has no gem store. Amaris is pretending to be fine, but I'm sure she's not.
She's gonna read the next one after reading about Amaris.
Convinced cleric, the very good elf crafter, Kiki Leafwind, made up person, created the quiver through tears and offering wedding ring, got the cleric to resurrect Dane for just the quiver.
Oh, Nuri, you got the cleric? She's gonna keep reading like, what is this?
Dane is in a coma now. No healing spell can work.
It started out as curiosity. Now you're just prying. Just
like, where would you like? Do you want to keep reading that, or do you want to go to a different page?
She's going to like slide over some more pages.
Okay.
My brain said 5, but I don't know how many you actually have in your thing, so it could be 2.
We'll slide over here. Okay.
Just anywhere.
Douse was more affected by being referred to as a liability than he was by trusting friends or writing. Apologize for saying he was grounded.
Apologize for saying he was what?
Grounded.
What did you expect from Mama Nuri?
Merilla, high or low?
Low. And Merilla's kind of like, well, I already know all this. And, well, not all of it.
So go further back?
Well, I really want to.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You are safe this time.
You actually find one that's written a little differently than others.
Yes.
Kind of a shaken hand. And it just says, Esmond, ... Where are you? Are you involved with I'm gonna butcher this name, but it's Polarium. It's the bad goddess we learned about.
Oh, Polarium.
Polarium, yes.
What's the next thing?
Right after that, or
yep.
Hot halfling sneaking back in. Blood on skirts of girl halfling. Reason for actions. Big Nose Jack killed the halfling's mom. Point to them. No guards were killed. Who
needs a recap episode?
A little further back. Okay.
Now she's going to be looking specifically for stuff about Esmond.
So if you're scanning specifically for Esmond things, you would remember kind of seeing something a little further back that was kind of shaken, handwritten. So you just kind of go back a bit, and let's see, where is my next? Esmond, have you forgotten me? Forgotten Ami?
Ami must be the name of her son. Esmond, Nuri, and Ami.
Ami, yeah.
Merilla, high or low again?
Oh, hi! Is that 2 dice rolls I just heard?
It landed on the corner.
Oh, okay, that's valid.
So as you're flipping through the book, you hear, "What are you doing?"
And Merilla slow closes it. Well? She stands up. And then she shifts to the side so you can see Nuri's notebook, and she points to it. I was reading a little bit of it.
So you are reading Nuri's diary.
Her notebook. She's always taking notes.
could
It
still
does
also be
also
counted
just so
as a
happen
diary.
to be about her life, but it is her notebook.
You're still snooping.
Yes.
Also, I will add, you can tell Amaris is in like her new outfit.
Cute.
So if Merilla did want to sideways out of it, she could appeal to a certain side of Amaris that she suspects exists, but she's not going to, not right now. Yes, I read a note about Dane. Apparently, she and Douse were a thing. I still can't remember anything.
Amaris just kind of like looks down for a sec and she's like, yes, Dane and Douse have been a thing as of late. Honestly, at the moment, I don't know how to feel about it.
That's all
like,
right.
I remember being like happy for her and all that, but now I don't know. I don't know how Douse is going to feel if he remembers any of this.
Oh, very considerate. How is Douse going to feel when he finds out his basically girlfriend is in a coma now? That's a good question. Have you had breakfast yet, Amaris?
Nope.
Well, shall we go down? Eat some good biscuits and gravy?
Before heading down with you, she goes over and checks on Nuri.
She is clean out. I think she's just going to have to sleep it off. But we might want to get her a glass of milk. Help her process all that.
Possibly. Sierra, high or low?
Hi. Do you also want to take a look? You can. I'm not against this.
Sierra's like, please read my notes.
Oh wait, you want me to?
I think it would be funny. So like, I'm down if you want to. Nuri obviously would be like, what? Don't do that. But Sierra's like, this is funny. Please do.
So you see her just kind of standing over Nuri, just like thinking about something.
Merilla hasn't really moved.
And she like leans over to Merilla and is quietly just like, there was no spell on the notebook keeping it closed, was there?
Oh gosh, I didn't even consider that. No, I opened it just fine. Do you want to look inside too?
I've got a better idea. And she takes the quill, opens the notebook, and does a little doodle in it.
Wait, didn't it disappear?
You'd have to get your own quill. My quill's disappeared.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, I get my own quill and I do a little doodle in it.
I wish I had one to just like hand over to you. That'd be funny. Anyway. Oh, what did you draw?
I think it would just be like a little cartoony doodle of drunk Nuri.
Oh gosh, that's so
Sierra's
funny.
drawing
it
it
like her.
and then she's gonna like close the notebook, put the quill away, and she's like, okay, let's go.
She's definitely gonna know someone opened it now. She follows you out. What a way to tattle on me.
She won't know the difference.
Okay, so you guys
so like
leave
as
the
they're
room.
at the top of the stair, Marilla's like in a rush. Kate! Look at that wonderful biscuits and gravy we had last time.
Oh yes, on it. And she goes and she grabs 2 plates, and she sets them right next to Douse. Um,
How much is it?
a silver piece.
Silver piece?
She takes her poncho and she takes that, slides it.
Okay, takes it. Amaris, did you pass the silver piece?
Yeah, I'm getting some biscuits and gravy.
Okay.
So Douse is not going to put silver down because he knows it's going to be rejected, but he will leave a silver on the table when they're heading out.
Okay.
So as Amaris and Merilla come down, Dusty's gonna say, "Where's Nuri?"
Still a little out of her mind.
I see. Well,
I don't think we're going to be able to leave for at least a couple, 3 more hours.
all right.
That's fine. I need to make an errand this morning. I'm going back to Miracle Mike's. I've been thinking about it. I think I need that endless decanter of water.
Don't you
Right.
already have one?
This one, it's a little bit finicky. It's not endless. It's give or take on when it could give you water, and I just don't want to be stuck in a situation where he's gonna be a little bit out of it because he still has those thoughts returning for his memories. But he's gonna be like, just when things go sour, I don't want to be left without in a bad situation.
Merilla so much looks like she wants to ask
Why?
but she's gonna be like,
All right.
Mhm.
If you don't hurry up, Nuri might wake up and start asking again.
As soon as I finish eating, I'll be heading out. I'll come back here right after. But
Dusty says kind of to the group. He says, "Oh, I saw Draw of Toughhammer the other night.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
Tax's dad. And he's kind of like watching you eat your food. He's like half wondering if she's paying attention.
It's so good.
and like under her breath, she's mumbling like,
Oh my gosh, the savoriness of the gravy. Texture of the biscuits.
how was he?
Oh yes, that too.
He's doing well. Tired, but well. He was happy to hear that Tax has been returned. I offered to have us accompany him back to his home since we're all on the way. He was going to be leaving today as well, so.
Good thinking, Douse.
I didn't think anything. That was Dusty's idea.
We both of
I
us
meant-
kind of look.
I'm so sorry, the D names. Dusty. Smart boy. Tall boy, Dusty.
Dusty kind of shrugs. Says, "Yeah, we'll let Nuri know when she wakes up. In the meantime, I could go with you, Douse."
That'd be wonderful.
Okay, so you guys head down to Miracle Mike's. I am desperately trying to remember his voice.
crazy old man.
Like crazy old man. He was like, hey, how did it go?
It's okay. Whatever comes next is canon.
Yeah, everyone knows that it's only canon in the moment.
It's okay.
Oh gosh. Okay. You come on down and you enter into Miracle Mike's shop. Again, you see lots of little like kites kind of hovering in different places, different magical items and artifacts, and you see he's actually wearing the same sweatpants basically and stained tunic. With it, he's actually like behind the counter, leaning back in this like nice chair, and his purple pointy wizard's hat is like kind of on his face, and his hands kind of crossed across his belly, and he's
Douse is gonna be right at the entrance, like, this is a necessary thing. I need this. Okay, I can do this. He straightens up, pulls out the bag of holding, kind of puts it to his side, knocks on the door. Hello, Mike, sir.
oh, and he pulls his hat up.
Hi.
Hey, you were here yesterday.
Yes, I was wondering if I could. I
Yeah.
have that decanter of water you gave
Yeah.
me, but I was wondering if I could make a deal for that endless one. Seems a little bit more pertinent to what I need.
Sure. Ugh.
So I have
Yeah,
the decanter.
give me one second.
You're not about to throw up, are you?
No.
Okay.
He reaches down by his side, and you see him pull up a bottle that kind of looks exactly like the bottle of almost endless water, with little like barnacles on the side, and you see him like lift it up to his mouth, and water comes out. Chugs some, and then he sets it down. He goes, kind of rubs some of the water that was like on his face, rubs it into his eyes, stands up, puts his hat on. Yeah, yeah, I can help you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have the old decanter here. I believe that was roughly 80, 75, 80 gold, right?
Yeah, probably. Sets it on the
Okay.
counter.
I was wondering if I could trade this bag of holding for that endless decanter, plus the one that I'd purchased yesterday. So those two together for the endless decanter.
Kind of like caresses his two fingers on his cheek. Or not his cheek, his chin. um his like he's got like a what's that called?
Bristle?
Stubble.
5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, he's got the 5 o'clock shadow on top of like some uh
Scruff.
scruff, yeah, basically. Um he's just kind of, yeah, you got a deal.
Wonderful. Thank you.
He takes the bag and the thing, and then he kind of like holds the edges of his hat, and you see like some glitter coming off that. And he goes, "Yep, yep, it's over here." And he like goes over, grabs the decanter of endless water, and he hands it to you, and he kind of like brings his hand over like the brim of his wizard's cap and kind of like slides it across, and he goes, "Pleasure doing business."
You two, you're sure this is it, right? Is it the same bottle from last night?
Yeah.
I'm questioning because of how out of it he seems.
It seems it's a very beautifully elegant bottle. It's this glass bottle with ridges, embellishments of gold on there. There's a beautiful strap that is an adjustable strap. So very nice. Um, and it has just this really amazing just spit on the end that you can close and open and stuff.
He
It's the same
spat
bottle.
on it. Ew.
What? So yeah, so that's there. It's the decanter of
Okay.
endless water.
Thank you. Have pleasure doing business with you. You'll walk out thinking, I'm gonna have Nuri double check this for me.
Okay. And you and
Just 'cause-
Dusty, yeah, because he's out of it. You and
Yep.
Dusty head back to the tavern.
I would also make sure I get a receipt for this, just in case.
Yeah, he kind of writes up a receipt. It just says water. Hands it to you.
Thank you.
He's like, I'll know what it means.
Puts it in his pocket and goes back.
Alrighty. You guys head back, and at this point, as you guys are entering into the tavern, Drov is coming down. Or sorry, yeah, Drov is coming down the stairs, and he is drinking some water and heading over to pay a silver to go get some biscuits and gravy.
Good. As Dusty comes in, he says, "Oh, Drove, you're up."
Yes, it was a long night. But
See.
good day's work. I've been working on the for a woodcutter the past couple days, saving up money.
Ah, I see. And Dusty, he kind of nods and he says, "Well, I better introduce you to my friends here." And he kind of gestures to first he's like, this is Douse. That over there is Merilla
That
and Amaris. And then he's just like, well, but yeah, that's Amaris. And then he kind of shrugs and Merilla. And then does he see Nuri? Is she down yet?
probably
And he's
not.
like, we're still missing one. She'll be down. She's recovering from last night.
Douse would shake his hand and be like, very nice to meet you. You raised one wonderful daughter. She's very kind.
He
And Dusty will say, "Oh yes, this is apologies. This is Drop Toughhammer, Tax's dad."
Oh,
Yes,
that's who it
that-
is that you're
that's who I
telling off our
assumed.
names to.
Drov he's holding on to his hat right now, but he nods to each of you as you're introduced, and he smiles when you make the comment about his daughter, and he goes, "She is she's one tough hammer."
I agree. No pun intended. Quite smart.
I can only assume.
If you don't mind excusing me, I think it might be good to check on our missing companion. Amaris, do you want to come with me?
Sure, why not?
Just before they go, Merilla is going to get a thing of milk from Kate.
Okay, you can do so.
How much is it?
It's 1 silver.
Cool beans. Thanks. Okay, so they go up.
Alrighty.
And I need to remember to take this out of my inventory. So as they go up the stairs, Merilla with her milk is going to kind of quieter say to Amaris,
Amaris, you were at Nuri's wedding, right?
Yes.
If it's not too much to ask, what do you remember of her husband? His name was Esmond?
I don't remember too much about her husband.
Not even things she said about him?
Yeah, not really.
she's like, visibly like mulling over something as she kind of just kind of like nurses the tanker's milk in her hands.
Interesting. She seemed rather forlorn last night after you left in a drunken stupor.
That is actually the first time that I've seen Nuri drunk. Something must have like really gotten to her.
Really, really gotten to her.
And Merilla opens the door to the room. What's Nuri doing?
You're muted, Sierra.
Well, that tracks with my life. I'm just kidding. What was I saying? She's like moves at the sound of the door opening, but it looks like she's just like covering her head. I'm like,
All right, Nuri, it's time for you to get up. And she's gonna like get a hold of the blanket. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like wrapped around Nuri, and just kind of like pull on it till Nuri falls off the bed.
Falls on the floor.
Oh
And
gosh.
groans like, ow.
Nuri, sit up.
Sit up. Very sad.
And Merilla like kind of like hobbles in front of you and she holds out the tankard.
What's 1 + 1?
My head hurts.
That's good enough of an answer. Drink some of this.
We'll drink it.
You're drinking this much better than you tried to eat the bread I gave you yesterday. Don't need to tell you, Boo, you were rather disheartened. Basically disappeared at the bottom of the mug. Tankard thing, cup, I forget what we called it.
Jug.
The tankard.
The jug.
I feel terrible.
That's
Then
how I
drink
hear
the milk.
hangovers are like. And what Amaris said, drink it. Keep drinking. Little sips. So you won't get woozy all of a sudden.
Well, drink it till it's gone.
You do feel a little bit better. Your head still hurts. But not as much as it did before.
I'll grab my notebook, my bag, and then just like slowly and all icky and sad looking, I'll go down the stairs.
Mars is gonna be like to the side of Nuri, just to kind of keep her stable as she goes down.
I'll go down. For most of the day, she's kind of unresponsive, just giving grunts and groans. And honestly, like, even if, like, seeing this person with us, she's just gonna be like, and just kind of like curl, or like she is pretty much non-responsive through most of the morning, unless something specific happens that comes to mind. But
Okay.
Please excuse her taxes, Dad. She's not normally like this.
Understandable. Drinking quite a bit tends to do that to a person.
Merilla nods.
She usually doesn't drink as much as she did last night. I don't know what happened that caused her to do this.
Francis and Dusty.
A lot of things can drive someone to drown their sorrows, drown pain. But
Like I was telling Amaris last night about the cleric I once met.
it's never good
He
to.
told me he'd sworn off alcohol after nearly doing some horrendous things while he was under the influence.
That's quite the story.
Yes, he made a vow never to have another drop. Ever.
Hmm.
And we shared a tankard. Or we made a toast with milk after that. And I took the same. Not that you needed to know that, it just reminded me of the story. That's all.
No, I loved hearing it. Maybe you could tell some more stories along the road, the
I
journey.
have loads of stories.
How to make Marilla's day.
Give
So
her
Brad
some
and
food,
ask her to
ask
tell
her
her
for
stories.
stories. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So after Nuri has a little bit of food, she probably can't stomach much. You guys head
Douse
out
would
on the
grab
road. Oh,
Douse would grab Dusty just slightly and be like, I didn't cause that, did I? I wasn't too rude.
Dusty shakes his head. He says, "No, that was
Did I
I
miss
guess
something?
we had a conversation last night. It was I just talked to her.
Okay.
Figured some things out.
As long as
She's-
everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's all right. She'll be fine."
All right, let's hit the road.
hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no
But I
more.
like Kate.
Yes,
Hey,
and write
hey,
Kate
sir.
down.
I
He
said
likes
Kate.
Dane.
No, I'm saying write that down so DM doesn't forget. Okay. Don't worry, he'll come back one day.
Just teasing Dane.
Okay. Alrighty. So you guys hit the road. Okay. So as you guys set out upon your journey with Drav alongside, listening to stories regaled by Merilla, he seems to be a very kind gentleman, more soft-spoken than you thought, of since of what you would have imagined Drav to be. And as you guys continue to set off, you can start on your journey. And that is where we are going to actually conclude tonight's session. I know it's a bit early, but I figured you guys wanted to give a little debrief real quick. Thoughts? Did you guys have fun? Did you guys as the
Absolutely.
viewers have fun?
I would like to
I had
say
fun.
that Merilla gives like a huge, deep, overly detailed regalia of the dolphin story that she read in the library.
Adding
She
extra
embellishes
bits.
a few details.
And they
Scarlet,
fell
you
down
said
from
she
the
loves
rainbow
it. We
miles
love
and
you as well,
miles to
Scarlet.
air.
I don't know.
Thank you, Scarlet E. We love you so much. You're amazing. We're so grateful to have you here. And for all of you guys here, 8-Man, Thy Be Gone, Ink and Cargo Pants,
Only light
Sierra,
one.
the Holy Light one. Yes, the Holy Light one. Trying to see anyone else in here. If there's anyone else, thank you for coming. You are amazing.
That's a fun emoji.
Yeah.
One thing, if you guys want to support the channel, if you guys are super into what's been going on in the story and stuff, we do have merchandise. If you guys want. Let me see. I'm hoping it's popping up. Oh yeah. Okay. It's a showing. It's a showing. Okay. Well, oh whoops, I went to the wrong page. Whoopsies. Haha. So,
Okay.
We've got lots of like Rosemary PG Studios merchandise, also stickers of the characters. We've got lots of different merchandise specific to the campaign, like Blue Boy t-shirts for little kids. We've got
Blue
cabbage
Boy.
mugs. You can even get Nuri Tamaron's spell book here, which is pretty dope. We
Notes
also
not
have
included.
notes
Oh,
not
more note.
included, unfortunately. And also for
That'd be too OP.
couples gift, we've got he and she's matching his and hers super married t-shirts. Um
You want to
for
scroll
that.
a little bit to the right for that one?
Oh,
Because
oh.
on the stream, the third column's getting cut off.
Oh, unfortunately, I'm not sure if I can.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's the way this is
Well, now
cut.
they'll just have to check out the merch store to see what
Yes.
else is there. That's
Yeah,
so
check out the merch
unfortunate.
store. You can hit it on our Twitch channel. You can hit the link there.
Scarlet, you know there's not currently any D20 focused stuff.
Ooh, that would be
Ideas.
fun.
That'd be
If
super
you
cool.
want to, like, you can always send us messages and stuff via our YouTube, our Twitch. Anything. We do have a website, rosemarypgstudios.com, and we do have an email that you can also email us on as well there. All of our contact information is on the website. But yes, if you have any ideas for merchandise, we are more than down to add more merchandise to the store right now. We're working on it. It's probably going to continue to be developed, but yeah, anything you guys can do helps. We do also have a tips page on our Twitch as well. So, but anyways, thank you guys so much for joining this session and for coming and being a part of the Rosemary PG Studios team and a part of the Harbingers Adventurers campaign. We are so grateful for you guys. Can I get a cheer from all of us here for all the amazing
As long as the mic doesn't cut us out.
Hey,
You are all amazing.
link in bio.
Almost
link
as
in about.
amazing as food.
Oh gosh.
Oh, wow, that's a
Aw.
high compliment.
Well,
Wow.
thank you, Scarlety. We are so grateful for you. We're so grateful for all of you guys who come and watch the stream. And we will see you next week. Um,
Bye.
bye.